Look within your fictional cultures at their day-to-day lives and ask what's important to them. Some holidays come up whole cloth out of your world's history and cultural diversity. If it was important to their view of history, it's important enough to have a day set aside for it, with reenactments, good food, and traditional music, dance, and acting. Robert A. Sloan.
You're listening to Writing Roots, brought to you by Aspen House Publishing.
Welcome to Writing Roots. I'm Leigh Hull.
And I'm Leigh Esses. As we continue through our series of Act 2 writing prompts, and as we near closer and closer to this month's major holiday, I did want to talk about adding a holiday to your story.
This is a great opportunity for world building, to give your readers a little glimpse into the world, the cultures, and what the people there care about.
This is an incredibly natural way to have your main characters disagree on your history and therefore have them talk about it. Were the Americans in the right during the Revolutionary War?
So holidays can reveal important historical moments, important mythical beliefs, things that culturally are important to the people, to their religions, to what they believe, or to some moment that changed the world, that changed the universe.
Most of this episode, we're going to talk about how to break down and how to build a holiday and how we see holidays in our culture and therefore how your readers will understand holidays. But it isn't just here and now. If you especially have a world that isn't on Earth, having these holidays are incredibly important.
One of my favorite ones is from Firefly. Unification Day. How is it that we always end up in an alliance-friendly bar on Unification Day? In Firefly, your main cast of characters are rebels, smugglers, out there to just do a job, whether it's legal or illegal, they don't really care. The captain of this crew fought at one point for the side that lost, and the Alliance won, unifying all of these different planets, all of these different worlds, and taking them under their control. So they celebrate Unification Day.
It's sort of the equivalent of the 4th of July in that particular universe, but your main characters are more or less Hessians or Brits.
The one's not so happy that it happened.
It's a great moment to not only reveal about the world and the universe, but the characters' opinions about this particular holiday.
So let's get into how to create a holiday. One of the best ways, if you don't know what to do or how to create a holiday, take one from Earth and change it somehow. You can have an Independence Day kind of celebration where that culture is celebrating an important event in that culture's history. The day that we remember blank.
My particular faith, their holidays are based around historical events. The day that Christ was born, the day that Christ was crucified, these are two major holidays in the faith that orbit around events that happened.
Like we talked about with Firefly, this is a good opportunity to have differing opinions.
The next type of holiday I wanted to mention are a do the thing holiday. Generally, we're celebrating something, and often this gets paired with your historical holiday in some regard. But Halloween is a good example of this, where we dress up and beg for candy.
One particular night of the year, you can go to somebody's door, say trick or treat, and they'll give you candy.
Yeah. If you show up masked at a stranger's door any other time of the year, you might have other issues.
A lot of these can be based on the celestial events. So traditionally, Halloween was based on that harvest time, the time when the culture believed they were closest to the world of the dead. And many of the traditions that grew out of that we celebrate today, there are little pieces that you can see in the original way they celebrated All Hallows Eve.
some way to celebrate by doing the thing. And that's the signature element of a do the thing holiday.
And then, of course, you also have religious holidays. This can be a combination of the different kinds of holidays. That important event, the do the thing, the harvest or celestial positioning. And sometimes religions, like we've seen in our own history, will hijack one particular holiday and make it their own holiday so that people stop practicing pagan things.
In polytheistic religions, you will have different days celebrating different things. You will celebrate Zeus on this day, and then Dionysus on this day. The Catholic faith is similar in that they have a Feast of Stephen Day, and then a Saint such and such day.
St. Patrick's Day, St. Valentine's Day. Especially if you have a polytheistic religion in your story that is based on natural occurrences, like you have your god of thunder, you have your god of the sun, you have your god of the wind, you have the god of the moon. The holidays will line up with when that particular natural event is most common. So the god of the sun is usually celebrated in the summer on the longest day of the year. Some holidays will be some kind of call to action. I'm thinking about the Islamic pilgrimage to Mecca that happens every year. During this set of days, people make a pilgrimage to the holy place of the Islamic religion. That is a call to action, a call for them to do something.
This is a little bit different from the Do the Thing holiday, which tends to be more fun and fluffy. It's a response to the celebration instead of the catalyst for the celebration. Another example would be the Jewish Year of Jubilee, where every 50 years or so, there is a year, so about once in a generation, where all debts are wiped clean, all slaves are set free, and everyone just takes a year off, effectively. So the value of debts changed depending on how far away you are from the Year of Jubilee. This is not an every year holiday, and that's part of why I wanted to bring it up, is it doesn't have to be a single day that happens every year. It can be every time Mars comes in conjunction with Venus or whatever.
You can also use the plot of your story to create new holidays in your world. This may not be something that shows up in Act 2. It might show up in Book 2, but it's a creation of something because of what the characters did. I'm actually thinking about an episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender, where they go to this town, and this town is celebrating Avatar Day. And Aang and the crew are excited. They're like, yes, sweet. There's a whole celebration for the Avatar. Aang is like, they're celebrating me? And then they find out, oh no, this is a festival to hate on the Avatar because of something that a previous iteration of the Avatar did that fractured the town. And the course of that episode, he ends up saving the town, proving what really happened, showing that the Avatar did good for them. And all of a sudden, Avatar Day became what he thought it originally was.
So if your holiday is taking place during Act 2, and that's why you're coming to this episode, reframing an existing holiday to have a new idea is a great way to build that culture, build your characters' opinions about that culture, and keep the plot moving.
If you're creating a holiday, all of these examples that we've given you can be combined in some way. If you realized in the call to action, we talked about religious holidays. In religious holidays, we talked about historical events. In the Do the Things holidays, we talked about how they become religious over time.
All of these holidays that come to mind in some regard tend to be a combination of how most people practice. Yeah, most people have a nativity scene, but they also leave out milk and cookies for Santa.
If you're struggling to come up with a holiday, look to a real-world example. And don't just stick with the holidays you know. Research other cultures, other religions, find out what they celebrate, the events they think are important, and use those to create a depth to your world.
And again, this should be plot relevant. They should know about Avatar Day because it changes the point of view of how people see the Avatar. Think about how you want your main characters to react to these days. If it's a different reaction than normal, your bard type character is a huge fan of Valentine's Day because all of the beautiful ladies who want to be in love are single and the bard has free pickings for all the desperate women. That changes your character and reveals something about your character that is different from the world.
Or you have that character that's looking for a tussle that goes to an alliance-friendly bar on Unification Day.
Yep. All of these things are fun bits about your character, and they help you, the author, build the world.
When you're building these holidays, remember to have fun. They should be an experience for your characters. They should be something that they want to do, or some kind of development for them in the process. So go out there, have fun with it, and always
write selfishly.
If you have a question or comment for our hosts or a topic you'd like us to cover, send us an email at writingroots@aspenhousepublishing.com or find us on Facebook by searching for Aspen House Publishing.